Well, how about them Houston Texans? Damn, it feels good to be a Texan, right? Damn, it feels good to be a Texan. Oh, I'm sorry. Um, the let's go to PG-13 route. Man, it feels good to be a Texan. All right, Texans won one against the Colts, 29-27. You know, the beautiful thing about that victory is that we beat them in a close game. Close games hurt more than blowouts. Blow a team out, especially when they're your division rival, you get to play them a second time. The other team, your opponent who you just demolished, they have what you call extra bulletin board material, motivation to beat you. We beat them by 2 points. I'm pretty sure they're still going to be motivated, but it's a mental thing because they may think that the game plan that they used against the Texans was the perfect game plan. They only lost by two. Maybe, maybe not, but a win's a win. When you're a Houston Texans fan, you'll take that win. Especially how many times these doggone Colts beat us. Man, in Indianapolis, it's ridiculous. Oh Lord, I'm gonna tell you something. As a Texans fan, I was more afraid of T.Y. Hilton than Peyton Manning. T.Y. Hilton is like, God dang, man, this is ridiculous. Because no matter how great the coverage was on this guy, he still finds a way to catch the damn ball. That's the equivalent of if you have Peyton Manning sacked, he's still completing the passes for touchdowns. You know, and he still completed a lot of passes for touchdowns against my Texans. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something about Peyton Manning. Half of his Hall of Fame numbers came against the Texans. Yeah, man, he'll just clean up. Like folks will be like, Peyton Manning is in a down year. He'll have like it's like the fourth or fifth game of the week. I mean of the year, and Peyton Manning will have like 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Okay, still decent numbers. But then he'll play the Texans, and after that game, oh, that 7 touchdowns goes to like 13 touchdowns. It felt like they're like, oh, Peyton Manning's in the Pro Bowl. You know, that's in one game against the Texans. Then they'll play when they play in Houston. He'll score only 4 touchdowns, 3 at minimum. So that means that's about 9 to 10 touchdowns a year against the Texans. I couldn't stand Peyton Manning. It's like, golly, man. But it's always good to get a victory against the Colts, division rival. And as a matter of fact, as of today, I picked the Jaguars to win, but they lost. Thank you, Dolphins. The Titans lost, and the Colts lost. So the Houston Texans are the only undefeated team in the AFC South. So, as the only undefeated team in the AFC South, we're number one. What a way to start the football season. I mean, there's no better way. You don't want to start off losing, and you definitely don't want to start off with a tie, because then you go back and forth mentally thinking, oh, man, was it worth it having a tie, or should we have just lost the game? But great job, Texans. I'm a lot of breath people. I raised my son, my oldest. He's 11 years old. All his life, I have beat him in races, and he just beat me. And I was running hard. Probably wasn't running smart. Probably not in good form. Man, I'm out of shape. Well, I'm not gonna say because I'm out of shape, because that would be me dissing him. He can run. He's fast. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the past couple of years, I think it was just a mental thing. I think physically he's been faster than me, but I think it was just a mental thing, and he got over it. It reminds me growing up playing basketball against my dad. Like once I got to a certain age, 11, 12, 13, I was faster than my dad. I could jump higher than my dad. My dad was old. Working adult. Me a kid, I'm doing push-ups, lifting weights, jumping rope, playing basketball all day, and video games. But when I finally beat him in running and finally beat him in the game, it was like, yeah. But a lot of it was mental. I probably could have beaten him a lot earlier, but it was mental. And he told me about that. And I was like, what? And it's not a good feeling, but it's one of those things. It's like, hey, I want my children to pass me up. I want them to. And that's why growing up when he was younger, I didn't give him races because I didn't want him to think he was beating me and I was letting him. But no, he was beating me. He straight up beat me. So, man, so now we got to do a rematch. So, but yeah, we'll talk about that on a different episode. But yeah, I'll let y'all know the update on that. But the Texans, man, they look good, man. C.J. Stroud, the other day, Stephen A. Smith said C.J. Stroud. No, it wasn't Stephen A. Stephen A. gave C.J. Stroud his props. He said C.J. Stroud is that dude. All right. But Damian Woody, shout out to Damian Woody, man. Damian Woody, he said, he said that, you know what? C.J. Stroud, he was dropping his coconuts. He dropped his coconuts on everybody in the NFL. But that right there, that was my wife right there. So earlier it was my 3-year-old crying, then it was my 5-year-old crying. That was my wife. Everybody distracts me in here. But you know what? If I was to wait until everybody is quiet and asleep in this house, then I would not get any podcast episodes out, no YouTube videos out, no TikToks out. Okay? Because when they sleep, most of the time that's when I'm asleep. Or if I'm not asleep, I'm too tired. I'm so tired that I'm this close to sleeping. All right. But Damian Wood, he said, man, C.J. Stroud straight up dropping coke. He was dropping his coconuts all on the entire NFL. And I don't think this young man is going to have a sophomore slump. This guy here is the real deal for sure, man. Like the passes he was making, like as I gotten older, after when you play catch with your kids and when you're playing, playing Madden and all that, you learn that it's not just about the throwing speed or the power, how far you can throw. It's about throwing a catchable ball. All right. And that's what made Tom Brady so great. Catchable balls, And I remember Tom Brady, he said, he would think about where he's throwing the ball so that way his receivers, tight ends, running backs, fullbacks, whoever's catching the ball, he's not putting them in a situation where they're about to get their head cleaned by Ray Lewis or somebody like that. And that made me think about the movie Jerry Maguire where Cuba Gooding Jr., Rod Tidwell, and he was complaining about the quarterback throwing all across the middle, this right here allowing him to get hit. And Tom Brady mentioned, he said, as a quarterback, you got to protect your pass catchers. And you got to throw an accurate ball, a catchable ball, so that way they can make a play. And that's what C.J. Stroud does, man. That's what I love about this kid. He has that it factor, man. And I do believe he's going to bring a Super Bowl home to the Houston Texans. For real, man. But, man, it's like you think about, all right, we thought we had a quarterback in Deshaun Watson. He was brilliant here in Houston. And then he gets into trouble. He's in Cleveland now. Then we go through 2-3 more years in quarterback hell, man. We get C.J. Stroud. And you have people like Michael Lombardi hating on C.J. Stroud, pretty much saying he'll amount to nothing. Well, that young man is something. He is something. All right? Michael Lombardi. All right? He is something, man. And I'm glad he's our quarterback. I love the addition of Stephon Diggs. I love it. Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins still doing his thing. Tank still out there. And Joe Mixon, man, I hate the fact that running backs don't get the credit like they should. I'm a believer in you run the football. You run that football, man. That's how you dominate a defense. Nothing is more dominating when somebody is running the ball and you can't stop him and the offensive lineman is just pushing you against your will. I mean, I get it. The passing looks cute, but what hurts, what snatches the soul, if you want to snatch a soul out of a man, you keep running the ball down his throat. Keep running it. That right there make him want to quit. You keep running it and running it and running it. So, man, I'm glad that, man, the Texans took care of business, man. But, the Colts, hey, Colts no pushover, man, but check this out. Joe Mixon, 30 carries. 30 carries. I love that. When your running back is getting 30 carries, that means you won the game. Okay? 159 yards, 5.3 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. How about that? Oh, you need more? You need more proof? Can I interest you in a quarterback throwing 24 for 32, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. I thought that was 294, but my eyes are tripping. I'm getting old, y'all. CJ Stroud, man. How about that, yo? Oh, you want to see more? How about Nico Collins? 6 catches, 117 yards. 117 yards, people. 19.5 yards per catch, man. I love the Houston Texans, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. How about them Texans, y'all? How about them? This is gonna be a big year for the Texans. I stand by it. I think this is one of the 2 teams that's in the AFC that can take the Kansas City Chiefs down. And after taking the Kansas City Chiefs down, I believe they can go on to win the Super Bowl. All right, I'm talking about the Texans, man. The Chargers is the other team that I believe that can take down the Chiefs. I don't know if the Chargers will go on to win the Super Bowl, but if they facing the Texans, sayonara. But it feels good to get a win on week 1. I know a lot of people like to say, well, it's just the first week. Well, that's true. But if you lose, you like, damn, man, we got to bounce back, which you do. But when you win, you know you got to win the next week and stuff, but it feels good to get that first W. Feels good to get that out the way, boost everybody's confidence, the teams, the players' confidence, the coaches' confidence, the owner's confidence, help the fans' confidence, man. And on the road, too. So can't wait for them to come back to H-Town, and the Texans going to do their thing, man. All right? What y'all think about them Houston Texans, y'all?